Hotel Bravo.
Mike 7 Echo Hotel Bravo. Evening to you, Mark. Very strong signal. Anybody else?
Golf 0 Foxtrot Delta Papa.
Golf 0 Fox Delta Papa. Good evening to you, Frank. Anybody else? No, nothing else. One more call. Anybody else want to join the Cray Valley Monday, the first Monday of the month, top down there?
Mike 1 Tango Alpha Delta.
Oh, it's the man with one arm. M1TAD. Very good evening to you, Trevor.
Yeah, good evening, guys. Sorry I'm a bit late on parade.
Not at all. We're only just starting. So the list starts at the top with me, G0UKN, and then it's G4FAA, then G3WMR, M0JCF, M7EHB, G0FDP, then M1TAD. Right, so I will kick it off. I hope everybody's had a good week. I went down yesterday and joined the boys and girls doing field day and did a bit of the 2 metre trophy contest. First bit of 2 metres. Classic cars at this end. And I went out with some Caroline buddies on Thursday night, which was nice. And for your information, Mark, and something we can talk about offline, there is another 70s weekend in the offing sometime next year. So I think they'd rather like it if you're up for that. And another one of your cohort has just put together a home studio and is going to be doing a bit more, which is Tom A is going to be doing a bit more. So we can talk more about that offline if you want, but yeah, spent an interesting last Thursday evening. What else has been going on? I went over to the Orsett Country Show on Saturday and met up with the guys doing GB whatever it is Orsett Show, GB10OS or GB0OS was it? Yeah, they put on a decent little display there, but I reckon Cray Valley displays are better, but I'm biased. And I also went to the Upminster Nostalgia Museum, which is in the Upminster Tide Barn, and if you've never ever been there, I thoroughly recommend that as just a morning out. A 14th century thatched tide barn, which is just full of interesting junk from yesteryear, so I did that on Saturday as well. Okay, I will pass it round to Laurie. G4FAA in the group, G0UKN.
Yeah, good evening, Ken. Yeah, the working conditions, I'm using the modern 706 rig to the G5RV with the original ECU in front of it. But if you'll bear with me, I'll switch to the new inverted L antenna, which has a remote ECU at the end of the garden, and see if it makes any difference. The test I did with Cray WMR earlier suggested that it would work. Here we go, stand by. Golf 4 Foxtrot Alpha Alpha, using his new super duper, highly improved latch up inverted L. But I suspect that you're probably not hearing me, so I'll go back to this G5RV. Stand by.
Not a lot of difference here, Laurie.
5RV. Could you comment, Guy, ever?
Yeah, maybe the inverted L is maybe slightly down on the RV, but not a lot in it.
Yes, received. Yes, okay. That's roughly what happened when I did a test for Frank earlier. Anyway, it obviously needs improving. The one problem I've got, I'm not quite sure how much much wire to use in the inverted L. Obviously, you've got to avoid multiples of half or sub-multiples of half wavelength. It's probably not too difficult on top then, but there we go. Right, a bit later on, Guy, if I may, I'd like to try the 160 on both the G5RV and the new inverted L, just in case. Well, just to see what you think. G0UKM and the monthly Cray Valley top band net. Over to you, Guy.
Yeah, round to you, Frank.
Test, nothing heard.
Yeah, round to G4, G3WMR next.
Has that come back to me, Guy? I'm really struggling. The noise level's so high. I'm hearing myself in Derby, okay, and I'm hearing you in Derby, Guy. So we're getting out all right, distance-wise, but not locally. Anyway, I couldn't hear M7 EHB, but I could hear Trevor. Very good evening to Trevor. It's quite a good signal. So I'll pass it straight round to Mark, M0JCS on the net, G3WMR.
Yeah, G3WMR, M0JCF. Very good evening to everyone. I'll give reports. I've been looking at the meter face on. The radio I'm using, the Yaesu Fox Tango 101 Zulu Delta, FT 101ZD to the old people. And looking at the meter face on, UKN, Guy, sorry, I forgot your name there. You're plus 15. G4, FAA, right, Laurie, I got a reading on both antennas, absolutely no difference, mate. You're 5 and 9, dead on 5 and 9 on both antennas, absolutely no problems there whatsoever. And you, Frank, G3 WMR, you are a 5 and 9 plus, about +5, sometimes peaking 10, and no problems whatsoever. Now M7 EHB, G0 FDP, and M1 TAD, our cripple from the ham world. You're all plus, you're all 9 or 9+, so I can hear absolutely everybody. The 101ZD, I've had it, just over a week now. I took it round to Steve, G3ZPS, and we double checked it. It looked like it was low on output, if anything, so especially on the higher band. So we swapped both the valves. A pair of Chinese valves went in, but interestingly, as the anode cap came off of one of the valves, so did the complete assembly. So that will be the coil and the wire attached to the top of the output coil. So that was probably the reason for no output. The joint looked very dry, very old, so just soldered it all back on, left the new valves in. And of course it works. I've been working some wonderful DX on it the last weekend. I got my first ever Nepal on 10 meters. I got Thailand on 10 meters. I heard a very nice signal coming from Singapore, but his pile up was so big with Europeans getting all moist as they do, like, you know, it was something incredible. Then I just didn't hang around for that. I gave him 10 minutes call in, so one call out every 15 seconds for 10 meters. That's a lot of it's me, and not actually being heard. So yeah, life's too short for all of that, so I moved on. But there was some good DX to the east at the weekend. I worked a couple of Indian stations, Asiatic Russia. A few Asiatic Russians answered my CQ call, as well as there was contesters there. Hoping to hear Japan, but never heard Japan on 10, which was, I thought there'd be more Japan coming in. But anyway, I was happy with Nepal. I don't think that one will come up that often. I've certainly never heard Nepal before, whereas I have heard the other countries. I've heard Thailand many times, and as I say, for 10 metres it was the first time. Right, the other thing as well, Kodar AT5. Well, I had 3 of them. I sold one to a club member, sight unseen, untested, etc., with a power supply. So that'll be Sam. Whether he's made headway, I don't know. He wanted a project, certainly giving him one. The other 2 Kodar AT5s I took along with my power supply to Steve, G3 ZPS. We bunged it on his bench, went through it, RF output on both, but that's as far as we went. We never went beyond just checking that my power supply wasn't going to go bang, and the AT5s weren't going to go up in smoke. Now, they were both producing about 8 watts on his meter into a dummy load, so I was quite happy with that. Took them home, and one of them is the one that I totally rewired myself. Now, it seems to be putting out 7 watts, just dead carrier, but I can't get any modulation out of it. And I've tried several different crystal microphones I had, plus a high impedance 50k microphone. I've also borrowed a microphone, an ACOS microphone, sorry, from Guy, and still no output. So there's something a bit more deep-seated, and it needs some proper analysis on the workbench. I think there's a possibility bouncing it around in a car over sleeping policemen never done it a lot of favours. The other one, the 2 EF80 valves don't appear to be lighting up. It's just unusual. Out of the lineup, there's 2 EF80s, there's 2 6WB blah, whatever they are, plus a 12 AX7, and one of the AX7 filaments looked really faint, so I swapped it for an ECC83, which is the equivalent, and absolutely the same. Sorry, that was on the first one. I'm just getting myself confused. Let's just say I've got 2 Kodar AT5s that almost work, not quite, and I lost patience with it today. I spent quite a few hours on it, so I thought, you know, come back to this another day with a clear mind and a clear bench, and I can actually get them working properly. And I was going to use my Drake SSR1 receiver as the receiver. What I'm going to do tonight, rather than swap around rigs and everything, I wanted to use the Drake on the top band net. So what I'll do, I'll probably act as a shortwave listener, and I'll get a video. I'm doing a video of the LSB section for just one round of people. I won't labour the point, and my videos tend to be quite long on these nets, and then I'll try and capture everyone that's going AM on the Drake if it receives. Got a bit of a lash up of an antenna, because obviously I've got a long wire antenna, and on the back is it's a balanced input. It's not coax or anything, so I've had to jury rig something up. So we will see what happens, if it happens at all. I think that was a long waffle. Oh yeah, my long wire came down this afternoon. What it was, the bungee rope that I've got it attached to at one end through the dog bone, it had you know, like sun damage. You know, it had gone with age. The UV had broken it down, and the rubber had all gone sort of brittle. So it basically, I knew it was cracking. I should have done something about it last time I was up there, but I'm lazy, and it came down. So that's the story, and I've got nothing else to report, because I think I've given you everything and more than enough. So round to you. I think it's Mark, isn't it? Mike 7 Echo Hotel Bravo from Mike 0 Juliet Charlie Foxtrot in the Cray Valley top band Monday net.
M0
0JCF from Mike 7 Echo Hotel Bravo. Thanks very much, Mark. I seem to be getting out all right as far as I can tell, but I'm having great difficulty receiving anybody really. I can hear Frank, I can hear Mark and Guy's very respectful signal, but the noise level is, the QRM is 5 and 9. So you've got to be above that to be heard by me, unfortunately. But I'm not sure I'll hear Frank or G0FDP or Trevor, but we'll see. I wasn't hearing them before. Interesting what you said about the Caroline weekend, Guy. Yes, let's talk about that elsewhere. But I think I was invited to that one you were at, actually, but I couldn't make it. We were away in Portsmouth for the weekend. My son was doing a drama workshop down there. And Portsmouth is a lovely place, I'm here to tell you. But unfortunately, I didn't get to hear any of the clubs or anything else that comes out over this weekend. So there we are. I thought tonight I was inspired by the WhatsApp messages of people trying out old gear. So I thought, well, I'll try my KW 204-202 combination for tonight's net. But it would appear the 202, the receiver, is completely dead on 160 metres. I've wiggled the crystals, but nothing happened. So yeah, I'll have to think about that for the future. Okay, I'll hand it over to Frank.
G0FDP from M7EHP. Yep, okay, Mark. M7 Echo Hotel Bravo. From Golf for 0, Foxtrot, Delta Papa. Right, well, your signal says to me, Mark, you're actually over the 9. I've actually got the volume turned down a bit though, so I'm listening for the doorbell to ring at some particular time within the next hour, but I've got the volume turned down. I can hear you, no problem at all there. And, well, guys, no problem with these signal strength there. He's got 5 line plus, no problem at all there. G4 Foxtrot for Lorry. I know you're there, I can hear your actual speech, but it's not loud enough for me to actually give you a good recording on it. So obviously it's not what I call good hearing audio. But there we are, at least I can hear you, that's the main thing. And Mark is obviously a good signal. I've had the door volume turned down, Mark. You're not too loud for me either at the moment, but as I say, I'm trying to listen for the doorbell to go, and I don't want to be missing that. Right, so that's okay there. And yeah, we did have a little chat on the side before me tonight about your played on your the 101 50, so you've been doing quite good things with it, and yes, and I think it's worked quite well, but maybe it's because the actual volume on the transmitter is not that loud, really. I was expecting it to be much louder, but there we are. It's one of them things, I suppose, yeah? Okay. And now, G3WNR, you're another one like Laurie. I can hear you there, Frank. I can hear you talking. Not quite loud enough, unless I turn the volume right up, but then I want to hear what I'm looking for. So that's unfortunately there. But anyway, Mark Lee from Lee, EHP, no problem. He's, as I say, I'm here okay, no problem. But as I say, it's about 5 and 9 plus about 10 at the moment, and with the volume turned down. But that's no problem. Anyway, then I can hear also, I know that Mark, November, no, M1 CAD, M1 on band, wild Trevor, really flat with the stand arm, oh dear. I heard Trevor come up, not that loud, no, but I heard him coming up on the recording when he called out, if there's any others, then we're trying to call up on the Monday net. So I did hear Trevor, yeah. Hopefully your arm is improving there. Well, it's not your arm, it is it, Trevor, it's your wrist, really. Your actual wrist, which is worse to it, not your arm. And you obviously have to use the mic in your left hand, which is your right arm problem. You have to use the left hand as well. Right, that's no problem there. Okay, hopefully you can hear me all, or everybody can hear me. I don't know exactly
the mark down at Leeds, and you may not be able to hear me, but, well, I can hear him, but whether he can hear me is another matter. Danny down the other end of the ice, really, down at Leeds there, so not too much of a problem, not that far away. But we'll see how it goes anyway. I have actually swapped the antenna system around into what it was last week, last month, so that hopefully it's getting out a bit better than it was last time. Anyway, I'll pass it round now to M1 TAD. Trevor, how are you doing, Trevor? It's over to you. Hopefully you're on. Your wrist is not too much of a problem there. Over to you, Trevor. D0FDP.
Trevor, well, you're not hearing, Frank.
Yeah, Roger, Mike 1 Tango Alpha Delta returning. Guy, no, as I said, the noise floor I've got here is just increasing now. Unless you'll give me at least plus 20 over. Obviously, I'm getting you, Guy, 5 and 9 plus over. Obviously, Mark, JCF, plus over. Not getting Laurie, not getting Michael. Did get Frank, G3WMR. Not a strong signal, but he's still riding the noise. I think I'll bow out here, Guy, and I just sit on the side and listen. But as I said, I'm not getting many people at all. G0 UKN. This is Mike 1 Tango Alpha Delta.
Yeah, 1 TAD, G0 UKN. Well, lots of people seem to be suffering from noise today, which is unfortunate, but not sure what to suggest, really. The other thing I've got for you, Mark, which no, actually, I'll leave that for another time. I think I dropped you a note anyway via WhatsApp. Yeah, so sorry everybody's suffering from noise this evening. I'm receiving everybody, hearing everybody, no problem at all. Most people are hitting the various SDRs. I've actually switched off the SDRs now on my phone because my phone hasn't got a lot of charge. And when I plug in my phone to charge it, I do suddenly suffer from noise, so that's got switched off. Yeah, regards to the vintage kit, Mark, yeah, sorry to hear you've got problems getting 160 on the 204, oh no, 202, sorry. I don't remember whether we looked at 160 on it or not, but we'll have a look at some point and see how, see if it's not doing things. Could be the fact that it's never really been used on 160 and a dodgy switch contact or something. There you go. Right, I wonder if there's anybody else wants to join. Is there any more Cray Valley members want to join the first Monday of the month top band net from G0 UKN?
Mike 0 Whiskey Delta Tango.
Mike 0 Whiskey Delta Tango. After evening to you, Dave.
Yeah, good evening.
Yeah, nice to see you yesterday. Anybody else want to join from G0 UKN? No, nothing heard. Okay, Dave, I'll pass it round to you for an over now. The order is me, but I've just had an over, then G4FAA, G3WMR, M0JCF, M7EHB, G0FDP, M1TAD sitting there quietly because he's suffering with noise. So, Dave, why don't you take an over and then pass it to Laurie, G4FAA, from G0 UKN.
G0 UKN, Mike 0 Whiskey Delta Tango receiving. Yeah, hi all. Apologies for the late arrival. An unexpected story time required of me, but I'm back in front of the radio now. Got a horrendous amount of noise tonight, so I'm not sure who I can hear. I have been listening for a few minutes, and I did pick up Frank, G0FDP, your plus 10, Trevor, M1 TAD, 59 plus 20, great signal and good sounding audio as well to me. And riding over yet, so I'll give you a report on the next round. Just running the usual setup, the Yaesu FT-DX10 and end-fed half wave, an end-fed quarter wave in an inverted L configuration. I've tried switching lights off and all sorts tonight to try and get the noise down, but it is 5.9, so yeah, it's probably my end if I can't actually hear anyone. We'll see what it happens on the next round. So with that, I'll pass it around now to, I believe it's Laurie next, G4 FAA from M0WDT.
Let's start with this bit first.
It's slightly changed. I'm using an inverted L tuned with a remote AC here at the bottom of the car. I think rather similar to your setup. And so far, people appear to be hearing me, but in terms of reception, it's probably about the same as the G5RV that I've been using for about a year now. So there we go. Signal reports, I can't hear Mark's EHB at all, nor FTP, but that's normal. Trevor, CAD, I could get you, but I couldn't read you. 3 but 1, something like that. And you then are a good 5 for 5 on the aforesaid inverted remote motel. Right. A bit later on, gents, I hope to use them for KW160 on AM, but you hear the noise levels, and I probably won't even make it to the bottom of the garden, so I'll contact you guys. G0 UKX, Golf 4, Foxtrot Alpha Alpha, and the group, over.
Yeah, it's round to Frank now, WMR. You're very weak now with me, Laurie. You're a lot weaker than you were before, so I'm not totally sure what you've done. Round to you, Frank. Yeah, G3WMR. You still at G0 UKM?
I think G3WMR. Check I'm not doubling. Right, G3WMR. I can hear myself on Derby. I can't hear myself very well on Hack Green. Everyone's so difficult tonight. I'm going to call it a day after this. I will listen round, but I probably won't come back. I couldn't hear Frank FDP at all. I heard Trevor on the original call-in, but apart from that, the only station I'm getting strong now is M0WDT, who's quite strong, stronger than anyone, but Laurie gone right down, Mark's gone right down, really weird. So this is G3WMR. Just wishing everyone a very good evening, but I'm going to call it a day because there's just so much noise. I don't know where the hell it's coming from. I don't imagine it's all these new power lines that have gone up in this area, but it's something, and it's virtually impossible. So I'm not even copying any of the strong stations from previously. The only person I'm getting at any strength was M0WDT, and you were getting through into the SDRs fairly well as well. Other stations not really making it. Guy not bad into the SDRs. And I can hear myself coming through, so I know I'm being heard on the Derby one anyway. So a very good night to everyone. I will keep listening, but it's just too much of a struggle. So round again to you, Mark, M0JCF and the Cray Valley Net G3 Whiskey Mike Radio.
G3 WMR M0 JCF. Okay there, Frank. Very good evening to you. As I say, I don't know what's going on this radio. I've got S7 of noise. Everyone's signals on 9 or 9 plus. M0 WDT Dave plus 20. You are the loudest of the bunch. You're louder than Guy, and Guy's normally very loud. As I say, WMR was plus 5. EHB, you're spot on 9 mark. G0 FDB, you're S9, Frank, but as always on top band, your audio is quite high in tone. I don't mean high as in power, high as in tone. It's always quite trebly. And M1 TAD Trevor, looking at the meter, you was plus 10 to me as well. So everyone's a very good signal. Everyone's got great audio. And I had an experiment with this radio. It's got a 10 dB and a 20 dB attenuators. And I could knock it down 20 dB and you're all still readable. Of course, what I'm also doing is reducing my noise floor by 20 dB. So like your signal drops, but of course does a huge amount of noise, and I'm just wondering if people was to just whack your RF gains back, you know, and maybe that would help. I don't know. I'm only putting out, I'm just looking at the peak meter, only putting out 10 watts. Normally I'd put out sort of 30 watts, but tonight I just did a rough tune and it's 10 watts, so I'm happy with that. I'll leave it at that. There's no point in faffing around. I think Frank, G0 FDP, you mentioned, I don't know if it was my audio or the other Mark's audio, about my audio being a little bit low. I'm not too sure if the speech processor is working on this radio. As I say, if it's not, it wouldn't surprise me. So also this radio drifts. I may well have drifted off frequency as well. So you may all be chasing me now. And that's all I'm going to say. The only other thing to report this week was a 2 meter tropo seems to be good, both at the weekend today and it looks like tomorrow as well. So if you've got 2 meters or you've got 70 sems, worth having a go. I did work a station in between Amiens and Paris yesterday with just 10 watts on 2 meters on a collinear vertical. So I wasn't even using my beam, and I was 5 and 5 to him. He was 5 and 9 to me. I was using the old TS700G. Okay, if anyone wants to report if I was on or off frequency or what my audio was like, I'll gladly take all reports, but I think I've covered everyone tonight. So round to you, Mark. M7 EHB, this is M0 JCF. Yeah, G0 UKN. Did I drift far enough that no one could hear me?
Yeah, I've been following you about, Mark. You did drift quite a bit.
Okay, I think I'm back on frequency now. I had the clarifier on because of the drift. Yeah, this radio, I've noticed, does drift a bit, but I think it comes with age, doesn't it? It's, you know, it needs more work than the cursory glance we've given it. But the fact that I've been working some good stations, some good distance on it, I don't want to muck about with it at this moment in time. I'll hand it round to you to hand it to Mark, Guy. And interestingly, every time one of you says Mark, I have to think, hold on, are you talking to me or him? The big question mark come over me when you was going on about Radio Caroline and then WhatsApp messages, because I've had so many WhatsApps off you today. I don't know if you meant me or the other Mark because he's KW gear. So back round to you, Guy. G0 UKN, M0 JCF.
Yeah, M0 JCF, G0 UKN.
But I'll put it round to Mark EHB, and then Trevor's sitting, and then it goes round to Frank, and then Trevor's sitting quiet, and then WDT. I'm not going to hold it too much longer. I will. I'll do one round on AM, but I'm not going to hear. I don't think people are going to hear each other on AM tonight. The noise levels are very, very high tonight. It's just going to be it's one of those evenings, I think. So, are you still with us, Mark? M7EHB G0UKN.
G0UKN, M7EHB. Yes, the noise level has now come up. It's S9 plus 15 on that, and I'm really not hearing very many people at all, unfortunately.
20 dB attenuation.
I'm using my IC7300.
He sounds great.
And I'm watching
an M7 with 10 watts.
Down the band really slowly. And we're at the peak of, or I'm at the peak of whatever's causing it at the moment, so very difficult to hear people. So I won't hold it. I'll hand it over to.
I'm now going to swap to the Drake receiver.
G0FD.
Quarter wave. It's got a little sensor loading coil, but there's no tuner in line. And so with that, I'll pass it back round to Guy. Golf 0 Uniform Kilo November from Mike 0 Whiskey Delta Tango.
Yeah, Mike 0 Whiskey Delta Tango, Golf 0 Uniform Kilo November returning. I really struggled with Frank WMR and with Laurie. Laurie, I was hearing very, very little of. I heard him pass it over, and that was that. So, yeah, it's definitely, things are not great tonight compared to our normal nets. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to drop carrier shortly, and I'm going to come back on AM. This will be using a Kodar AT5. It's around about 7 watts carrier, around about 20-25 watts PEP, something like that. So a little bit less power than I'm running here, and obviously running AM. So stand by, folks, and I will be coming back on AM.
I'll be on AM too, M0JCF. At least I thought I would.
The microphone in properly. So this is the Kodar AT5 running, about 25 watts PEP, I guess. And looking at it, it's producing a reasonable amount of modulation. So I'm going to pass it back initially to somebody strong. And I know Mark JCF can't transmit on AM this evening. Laurie and Frank WMR be amazed if I heard. So let's go round to.
No transmit. Why is this?
Yeah, okay, well that's good. I'm glad you can hear me. So, right, the other person who'll probably hear me is Frank. So, Frank, do you want to take an over on AM, see if we've got that one working? G0FDP, G0UKN.
Yeah, G0UKN from G0FDP. Well, in actual fact, Guy, your signal on AM is 509 plus 25, and there's no background noise on your audio at all. But on Dave, that's EHP, there is a bit of noise on his transmission on AM, and his signal strength is not too far off yours, but there's a bit more noise with his transmission. But yours is perfectly clear. Not a big bit of noise on the transmission at all with you at all there, Guy. And it's 5 and 9, plus 20, 25, plus even 30 on the AM there. Back to you, Guy, from G0FDP.
Yeah, G0FDP, G0UKN. Oh, well, that's nice to know that it sounds okay. So this is the Kodar AT5, and I'm receiving you on the Kodar 228 receiver. I was actually monitoring you guys on single sideband on the T28 as well by switching on the BFO earlier. So it is just about stable to resolve SSB, but you've got to muck around with the peaking or it overloads. Right, I will go round to WDT, see if you're copying everybody on AM. M0WDT, G0UKN, over.
G0UKN, M0WT, all received. Yeah, I'm hearing you absolutely great, Guy. 59 plus 20, good signal. Modulation's great. Yeah, very good signal. I just about Mike 7E HB. You're barely readable. I can read you, but you're on the noise. But I can actually read you. So you're about 5'9", and Frank G0FDP again. 5'9", a little bit more readable, but quite close to the noise, and yeah, okay, but not that great a signal. Well, 5'9" is a good signal, but yeah, my noise is terrible. Hopefully, everyone heard me on AM. I'll pass it back to you, Guy. G0UKN from M0WDT. Right.
Yeah, M0WDT, G0UKN. Well, FDP, WDT and EHB, no problem at all on AM. Hearing them very well indeed, all nice sounding audio. I assume that Mark JCF, Mark, you might even want to come back to us on sideband, I don't know. I'd be able to resolve you and let us know who you're hearing on AM. So I don't know if you want to come back on sideband, and we'll see who you can hear on AM from G0UKN.
G0UKN, M0JCF. G0UKN, M0JCF.
Okay, well, we've done the rounds of AM, so let's see if Trevor is there and can hear anybody on AM, and then if he can't, I'm going to call it a day, because I haven't had dinner yet, and there's been other stuff going on family-wise that some of you might be aware of. So I'm going to call it a day then anyway, and I'll leave you guys to talk on either sideband or AM. I wonder if you're still with us, Trevor. M1TAD, G0UKN.
G0UKN.
Mike 1 Tango Alpha Delta returning. Yeah, all understood there, but the noise floor's gone up to plus 20, so unless anyone's coming up over the top of that, I'm not hearing Mark, M7, the M7 EHB, obviously our Mark, JCF, he's a very strong signal, you're a very strong signal, G3WMR, just barely coming over the noise, and obviously David is a great signal as well. He's hovering plus 30 with me, M0WDT. So I'll call it a day, as I said. I mean, my noise floor now is going up to plus 20, plus 30. So obviously I'm not getting out. I'm hoping you're getting me anyway, guys. But failing that, good night to you all, and I'll catch up soon.
Break.
Yeah, M1TAD, G0UKN, okie dokie, Trevor.
Lovely sounding audio on AM, no problems at all. So all good this end, and nice to make the trip. Right, I'm going to now pass it across to Laurie. I don't think I'll hear Laurie, but maybe Dave, WDT, maybe you'll hear Laurie on AM. So I'm going to pass it across to Laurie. Because I know Laurie wanted to try his KW160. and let's see what we get. So I don't know if you're copying me, Laurie, but G4FAA, G0UKN, just listening.
M0 JCF, not hearing. I'm hearing everyone except Laurie.
Yeah, nothing heard here, Guy.
I'm not getting either.
Yeah, Mark JCF, you came back off sidebound and I could understand you. You getting anything from him?
No, nothing whatsoever. I had a problem. I switched radios. The Drake was deaf. I switched radios to the FT757GX and I noticed zero output. I think what might have happened, I've had my hands round the back, faffing around with cables. I may well have knocked the little linear switch. You know, if the linear switch is in, the output drops to nothing, and that might be what I've done. And to be honest, I couldn't be bothered to go around there with a torch and sort it all out and find out what was going on. So I came back on the FT101ZD, and with careful rocking backwards and forwards of the clarifier, I can actually resolve everyone very, very nicely, all very, very strong, except Laurie. Oh, I've got hiccups. Did anyone get that? G0UKN, M0 JCF.
Yeah, M0 JCF, G0UKN. Yeah, so yeah, I was not getting a thing from Laurie, and I don't think anybody else was as well. But there you go. Okay, well I'm gonna call it a night. Not the most successful top band net, but you can't have it every time. Say this is I call this the bean can radio anyway, but I'm quite rude about Code R85s because they haven't got chassis built like Sherman tanks. Doesn't mean they don't work, and obviously I'm getting quite decent audio reports on it. But I'll let you all carry on. As I say, I haven't any dinner, and I'm being told that my dinner's basically ready, so I'm going to wish everyone 7-3s, and thanks so much for coming up and joining this slightly less than successful top band net. But nice to work you all, and we'll see if it's any better next month when we're more in darkness. So this is G0UKN, just throwing it open really to anybody who wants to talk to anybody else from G0UKN.
73011 COD5. Yeah, 73 everyone.
From Mike 0, Whiskey Delta Tango, and Trevor, by the way, great on AM +20, and thanks Guy for running the net, 73 all. Cheers both.
Well, thanks guys for coming up on the top band net this Monday on AM and LSB. A very successful one, but never mind, you tried the best and the system is not, the conditions not really very good this evening. 73 to guys, thanks for coming up, enjoy your dinner.
Yeah, M0 JCF on lower sideband, if anyone can hear me. Yeah, thanks again, Guy, and thanks for your help earlier as well. Very, very much appreciated. And I'll sort out all my woes tomorrow with the radios tonight. But actually, I thought it was quite a good top band net. I liked it. Lots of us on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of us on. And you all sounded good on AM. As I say, I would have joined in AM had I'm not faffed around the back of the other radio. Anyway, that's for another time. Good night everyone, and take care.